Well, if you didn't know better, you would think that the leak from the Supreme Court means that we're headed back to the dark ages. But in reality, Roe v. Wade is about federal power versus state power. We're here to break down some of those implications of the leak, and the left's predictable meltdown is the author of a brand new book that basically addresses this. Don't burn this country. Dave Rubin. Dave, great to take you off the book tour to have you help break down this predictable meltdown. I saw a ton of things. I had so much to choose from, but this guy, Ian Millhiser, he's the senior correspondent for Vox. He called the leaker a hero. And there were so many folks on the left and in the media who called this guy a hero. I don't understand why leaking a document, a confidential document, is worthy of calling someone a hero.
Yeah, well, just like I could have gone through the Rolodex of sort of crazy leftist tweets today, but that one sort of captures at least the first part of this, which is that if you're defending the leaker right now, let's put aside abortion and Roe v. Wade for just a second, the idea that either a Supreme Court justice themselves or a clerk or potentially a hacker leaked this information, this briefing that wasn't supposed to come out yet, this is extraordinarily, potentially criminal and negligent at best, right? If it's a clerk, well, then they probably, once they're found out, they probably can't perform law anymore. If it's a hacker, they should be in jail. If it's a Supreme Court justice, then they should probably be impeached. But nobody should be celebrating that. Regardless if you're happy about what this decision looks like it is or not, this person needs to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. We have to figure out who did it, how they did it, did they have connections with the journalists at Politico or anybody else, because we cannot be, we have so many problems in this country right now, which we all cover every day. We can't also add into this that the basic security of our three branches of government are going to be destroyed at the exact same time. The institutions are already starting to shake.
Yeah, two things. So when I look at this tweet from Ian Millhiser, at the end he says, let's burn this place down. I mean, that's a threat to the Supreme Court. I don't know. Obviously, Elon Musk doesn't own Twitter yet, but I feel like he should be banned for that alone. And then on the point of this leaker, obviously someone leaked it to intimidate the justices, to try to bully them. I mean, now we're talking about bullying. There's so many angles to take this from, and the media's not talking about that much, Dave. They don't want to talk about why this was actually leaked, to try to intimidate our justice system, which is so sad because this is what makes our democracy so different.
Yeah, you guys think I was a little too on the nose with the title of the book. I mean, the point is that we have institutions for a reason. We have laws for a reason. We have norms for a reason. The leak, obviously, I mean, it's fairly obvious. I think we can say probably with 99% certainty, was done by someone on the left side, let's say one of the liberal justices, somebody within that, I'm not saying a liberal justice, but someone within their world, right? And it was obviously done for political purposes. Think how quickly we just changed the entire national conversation. You know, for the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about supply chain and inflation and gas prices and all of the crazy woke nonsense that we're all talking about all the time. And suddenly the ball has been totally shifted. Our eyes are now on something completely different. And the question is, how long can they keep our eyes on that while all of the other bad stuff still happens? Because inflation and gas prices and everything else aren't going anywhere. We have to really deal with the leaker, and then we can deal out with all the fallout related to Roe v. Wade.
But, Dave, I want to get back to what Lindsay was bringing up, and you talk about it in the book, right? Don't burn. I mean, the first book was don't burn the book. Now it's don't burn the country. I mean, we saw it in the thing. They literally are advocating violence and burning and hurting.
Well, look, the left has decided that it's their way or the highway. You know, what was the initial reaction from almost every Democrat politician today? It was pack the courts, meaning we did not get a decision we like, so let's fundamentally alter the nature of the court. Let's add more justices that obviously agree with us, so we get more decisions that are in line with our political views from this branch of government. This is completely counter to what the founding documents were all about when we decided to have three branches of government that do three separate things. We have a legislative branch that writes laws, we have an executive branch that signs them into law, and a judicial branch that makes sure that they're actually legal. You don't just get to add justices because you're not happy, but that gets to the burn this down feeling. The left basically they've been telling us, I mean, guys, they've been telling us for years, they don't really like this country. They believe that it is fundamentally evil, that it was founded on racism, that our whole founding is patriarchal and racist and all of these things. So there is no norm that they will not blow past. There is no stop sign that they will pause at, and there is nothing that they will not burn down in the quest for power. That's not how a free society works. You know, there are things that happen in this country, decisions that are made by politicians that, you know, we're not happy with. And it's very rare that you see people on the right talking about burning the whole thing down.
You know, one person pointed out today, I don't know if we'd be putting up fencing if it was the other way around. Anyway, Dave Rubin, continue to hit the book tour. Congrats on the book.
Thanks. Good seeing you guys.